Somebody has a loud dog in the background, but we'll go ahead and get this thing started anyway. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this very, very special presentation of Open Mic Night here on the Jeff Meacham Network, here on the Casa 18 Studios, here on the J. Hebert 95 / FTW Productions channel, and of course, at Simpleman Studios. There he is right there, watching the countdown to Forbidden Door as he do. Gentlemen, welcome to the chaos that is about to be this show.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. It is good
Not the worker, though.
Glad to have everybody aboard. And for those of you that have missed the last, let's say a few weeks at least, promotion, JJ, why are we here tonight? What is about to take place up in here?
All right. So, when the Forbidden Door show was originally announced, people were asking, primarily me and Jeff, but I'm sure Noah and James got these questions as well. But we were being asked, what our excitement level was and were we looking forward to it. And at the end of the day, we just weren't getting that hype for it because there were a lot of people on the AEW roster, contracted talent, that were also contracted New Japan guys. So how much of a Forbidden Door was this really going to be?
Yeah.
And then I do have to say, the last week worth of television on AEW broadcasting has definitely got, at least me, I'm sure we can throw to Noah here in a minute, but it's gotten me a little bit more hyped about this upcoming show with the television this past week.
Yes.
But there's still like this, and especially with, as Noah so eloquently put it yesterday, the summer of injuries, as it were.
Yeah.
There seems to still be a little something left to be desired.
Yes.
So I proposed a true Forbidden Door pay-per-view event. So we are here tonight to present our 10 matches. WWE talent, Impact talent, New Japan talent, and AEW talent are all eligible, as long as they are on the roster. It doesn't matter if they're out on injury or not. We're still going to fantasy book them because, as I've pointed out a couple times on these streams, and this goes to legitimate pro sports, me and Jeff have a fondness for the Los Angeles Kings, as you guys well know. Our best defenseman, probably one of the top 5 defensemen in the entire league, Drew Doughty, made it known that if the Kings made it to the Western Conference Finals, he would come back from his injury that had put him out for the rest of the season and find a way to play because it meant that much. So we're booking guys that are on the injured list because at the end of the day, if you want to represent, you're going to find a way. Right, Cody?
That's it.
So that is what we're here to do today. And now that I've spoken at length, Noah, this last week of AEW TV has done a pretty good job getting us more hyped for this, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. These melees of chaos and just madness and worlds colliding between Japan Pro Wrestling and All Elite Wrestling. And all these feuds, even leading into blood and guts, when I just saw what happened between Kingston and Jericho, from the absolute terror to the sheer sadness to the absolute anger. I love this competition. Love this collaboration. Cannot wait for this show. Let's freaking go. I am so damn excited for the Forbidden Door.
But you weren't so excited for tonight there, were you? I mean, you were telling us in the group chat that your brain was about to explode trying to come up with matches for this.
Well, when I consider that, again, I look at all things professional wrestling, damn it, and I literally was thinking about, active people, whether they were injured or not, and then I was thinking about maybe continuity when it comes to maybe storytelling and rivalries, because I'm not going to lie, I think about how the hell do you fantasy book something, because I don't know jack doodly squat about that. So I ended up watching freaking Parts Unknown and their Monday Night War series.
Oh, there you go.
They went to James for the intro. I wonder what James they were talking about. And I was looking at their finale, for example, for WrestleMania. I was like, oh, I kind of can see what they're going with there. And that was just WWE. So I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I've seen people like this face there and there and there and there and there, and then they face for here and there, and then they went through there and now they're here. So it kind of worked out in a way where it's like, okay, you just gotta basically represent everything. You don't necessarily need everybody. So in the end, again, I prefer being a commentator at heart. That's just always been my fan mentality. But this was a fun project, and I hope everybody had fun with theirs too. And I look forward to engaging in the conversation as I'm continuing to work on forming the graph.
Now, Jeff, we know that fantasy booking isn't your cup of tea either. How hard was it for you to put this together?
Well, there's two ways I can reply to that. First is I legitimately started yesterday. Not gonna lie. However, I got it done, and I'm proud of my 10-match card. So
there you go. That's all we can ask. That's all we can ask. You know, I think out of the four of us, I probably have the least knowledge for the outside companies other than WWE.
Yes,
but I'm proud of what I came up with, and to the point where I even had another one in the back of my head that I really kind of wanted to see. So I asked these guys earlier today, I was like, look, I've got one thing booked as a match, but it's really more of just a segment. Do y'all care if I throw another match in there? And I was told, go for it.
Yep.
James, on the other hand,
I was gonna say, based on the movie you watched today for your show that's gonna air on the 4th of July, there are a few provisos, a few quid pro quos, if you will. James couldn't help himself.
James took the ball at the 1 yard line, ran to the end zone, turned around and came all the way back because this man went and tried to book 2 nights, 10 matches each. He was trying to pull a WrestleMania.
I technically did, actually. Like, I see the graphics in front of me.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So we have asked him to only give us 1 night, 10 matches. Y'all want to know the other matches he put? Then once we go off the air, he'll put his other 10 matches in the comment box, and you guys can check them out there and see what he left off of his match listing for the final cut, so to speak.
And he's worked so hard on the graphics. James, if you want to go this far, feel free to screen capture them. I'll put them in the Jeff Meacham Network group on Facebook and all over our social media because I didn't see any of your matches, by the way, when I did the share screen.
Yeah, my graphics.
Just your graphics alone, I'm like, yeah, I want him. Okay, so I want you doing my match graphics. I want Noah doing my commentary. I want JJ's enthusiasm for being back involved, and I just want to not have a freaking stroke over all this shit. That's my goal in life, folks. JJ's enthusiasm, Noah's exceptional commentary, James's graphic design excellence, and my not having a goddamn stroke. That is the goal. Woohoo! Okay.
All right, so we're going to jump right into it, as this is going to be the only thing that we cover for this open mic night.
Well, I was going to before you said that because I didn't have the chance to. We talk about I was proud of my match listing. I'm also very proud and more than a little shocked. I'm not going to lie. That first of all, apparently Pro Wrestling Tees' manifesto is incorrect. You are allowed more than 4 shirts at a time, and on behalf of the Jeff Meacham Network, I would like to present shirt number 5. You can buy this right now on the Jeff Meacham Network Pro Wrestling Tees. Very simple. ProWrestlingTees.com/Jeff Meacham Network. This is a real thing. It actually exists. So I can just get to load. That'd be super. Come on. There we go. It's loaded. I promise it. I promise it's there. There we go. All right. So I don't know if you guys can see that or not. What that is? It's pretty small. Yeah, that is a real thing. That is a real shirt with that real graphic. So,
it's hilarious.
Brilliant. Yeah.
That is not professional wrestling, damn it.
That's right. Well, no. The one that I give full 150% credit to for Noah's contribution to my library of shirts Because damn it, this one just, we said it as a throwaway comment almost during the lead up to this pay-per-view, and it just spoke to me like nothing had spoken to me on the merchandise front in literal years. So this is a real thing. It's
You're
all
welcome.
Yes. So please go support the Jeff Meacham Network. Buy those shirts. We also have the new Stat Boy Sports Bar shirt, which coming back August 9th. Grand reopening season 3. The original Jeff Meacham Network t-shirt. And what the hell do I have up there? I forgot what the 5th one was, to be honest with you. Not awful. I forgot her. Oh, the anniversary for Talk Wrestling. Okay. Anyway. So, my 10 matches. Good Lord Almighty. Hello, Hassan. Good to see you, by the way. I did see your comment. I just didn't have a chance. I was in the middle of self-promotion and gluttonous obnoxiousness, so I apologize.
Yeah.
All right. So, I originally wasn't going to go in any particular order, but I know JJ frowns on that comment, on that phrasing. So, I will go ahead and jump right in with what I do have only 10 matches, so I didn't do 10 plus buy-in because I wanted to be a stickler for. I wanted to follow directions, and not be a dude about it.
Hey, it just makes everybody's a little bit more different.
Exactly.
I've got a segment. Noah's got buy-ins.
Yes.
It makes everybody stand out a little bit.
James says the car's going to leave us here till Monday. It's all good. It's all good. It's all right. There you go.
Wow.
So it's okay. All right. Opening tag team gauntlet.
Jesus.
The Bucks, Jurassic Express. I forget Penta and Phoenix's tag team name. Forgive me. Lucha Brothers. Jesus Christ Almighty. Motor City Machine Guns. Yes, I put the Briscoes on a match card of my own. Believe it or not. The Good Brothers, RK Bro, Alpha Academy, Street Profits. Tag team gauntlet. So we're looking at least 15 minutes there based on, well, if you figure all the spots, the Bucks, the Machine Guns, the Briscoes, the Jurassic Express have to get in. We're looking at about a 45-minute match here, really.
For real, though.
15. So, but
there goes your whole first hour.
I was going to say that there's the, yeah.
Just between the entrances and the spots.
Yes. Well, luckily it's a tag team gauntlet, so the entrances will be relatively short. So that's, can I stop screen? Can I do that? Cool. Okay, so I'll make sure I can do that. Okay.
I know a good heel team will make them wait.
This is very true. So, yeah, I mean, I just figured I wanted to get as many tag teams from the companies I knew. I don't know a whole lot about the New Japan tag team, which is why I didn't include the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, although that title will be on the line this Sunday, and we'll talk about that when we get on the air Sunday. But these tag teams I know, and I just wanted to just go ahead and dive right in with some spot monkey shenanigans.
There you go.
And then you go from that to just a bruiser match. Just beating the shit out of each other. Let's just go ahead and get it in. Josh Alexander and Wardlow. That would be for a title. It has to be who's not going to kill the other one first. Because you got the reigning Impact World Champion versus the guy who I don't think is far off from the TNT or the world title in AEW at this point. The guy's just been such a force to be reckoned with, and had the insertion of the MJF bailing storyline not actually gone all the way through, we could be having a very interesting program with those two right now. But I think Josh Alexander matches up best with Wardlow as far as if you're going to do interpromotional, because Josh Alexander is called the Walking Weapon, and Wardlow's theme song, it talks about, it's time for war. You're going to war. No better way to go to war than with a walking weapon. Am I right? So
fair point.
Let's see. This one, I can't see. They're so small. Okay. So this is the one that is either the current secondary champions or the guys that still should be current secondary champions, although Ricochet lost to Gunther, so I'm not particularly mad about that, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Zack Sabre Jr., who, damn it, should be facing Bryan Danielson this Sunday. It sucks that he's hurt. But hopefully we get Gargano or Claudio out of it, so I'm not 100% mad. Ricochet, who, God, Ricochet's such a joke. My dad calls him Ricochet Rabbit at this point. He goes bing, bing, bing whenever he's on TV. It's so sad. But that dude can go.
I understand that reference.
I'm glad somebody does in this room. Noah, help me out with the gentleman third there on the next to Zack Sabre Jr. and Ricochet. I already forgot his name. I feel like an asshole.
Bone Soldier, Bullet Club, Taiji Ishimori.
Thank you. The reigning junior heavyweight champion. I've seen his stuff in New Japan. I've seen his stuff on Impact. He can't not be in a match that you think of. This could be the Ultimate X match. This could be the ladder match. This could be the match again. This is the single spot monkey match. Basically, is what this is. We had a tag team match that started. Now we're having a 6-man. Scorpio Sky, again, you mentioned no injuries being factored in. This guy's the reigning TNT champion. One of our all-time favorites, both me and JJ. JJ and I were both there when Scorpio Sky became more than just the part of a tag team wearing a mask. This guy has been one of our favorites, God, over 15 years now, almost 17 years now, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
From
let me
the
see
first
Scorpio
time
Sky.
I saw AXP at Gorilla, I became a fan.
Dude, I saw AXP on the last XPW show. That's how far back Sky and I go.
There you go.
2003, my birthday. Ace Austin, again, we talked about Ace Austin during Slammiversary. Yes, Speedball came out with the championship, but Ace Austin is the damned ace of the X Division. He is the guy. So I had to throw him there. And I figure since so many people shit on Theory because he's McMahon's current pet project, throw him in there because I love me some Theory. Austin or not, the kid's got it. And he definitely needs to be on this card. Getting a lot of one-on-ones here, by the way. I know you didn't do a lot of ones because you want to get as much of your shit in as possible, but I wanted to showcase particular people. So
yeah. No, don't get me wrong. I do have some one-on-ones, but like I said, it's like you figure a show of this caliber, you kind of want to try and have a representative from at least 3 of the companies in every match.
Absolutely.
If you're not having all 4 companies represented in each match,
Right.
And you got to find a way to Brian Cage it and just get your shit.
Yeah. But some of these I wanted to have be either one-on-one or even a triple threat because I wanted so bad to just see what these 2 people could do, 3 people could do together.
100% with you there. What do you got for us?
Without question. This one. Can we talk about this that should have happened and never is probably is going to now because they're on completely opposite sides of this little war that really isn't a war?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ron, you got the 2 women who have both, again, Paige Van Zandt's career in MMA is kind of overshadowed by her skills elsewhere, shall we say. But when the time comes, she can effing go.
Yeah.
And we all know Ronda can go. So... I just think as far as they're 2 of the top submission wrestlers in their respective divisions when they're turned loose, and they're both great on the eyes, so it's a good matchup on numerous fronts, not just they're going to kill each other, not just they're beautiful blondes. It's the best of both worlds, if you will. It's a freaking Hannah Montana match, I guess. Wow, okay. I'm a Star Trek fan, and I said Hannah Montana instead of Star Trek Best of Both Worlds. I officially quit life. I'm going to move on from that now. God.
I am doing Disney month next month, Jeff. You're forgiven.
Right here on the Jeff Meacham Network.
Seriously, I am such a Disney dork and such a soft soul for my niece and for my son at the time when he liked the show. God almighty. Forgive me, gods of Star Trek and Jean-Luc Picard. All right, let's see. Here we go. Speaking of women's matches, this one I think would have potential to steal the show because Mickey, even though Mickey's, kind of got that legend status on her now and she's been, categorized into management or whatever you want to call it, she can still go like nobody's business. We all know Bianca Belair is still the current Raw Women's Champion. I didn't put them in there because they're champions. Mickey obviously isn't champion right now. But Thunder Rosa and Bianca both atop their respective divisions. I thought about making it a 6-pack and having Jade Cargill and having Ronda in this match as well, and maybe somebody else from AEW, but it was just getting too convoluted at that point. I don't want to go too batshit crazy. But yeah, JJ knows me in triple threats. Not a fan. But I think these 3 women with their respective skill level and their very different experience level could really make for a match that would make any women's wrestling fan go, ooh, okay, I can mess with this. So I'm here for that. All right, the next 1, 2, 3, 4 are all singles matches.
Okay.
They are all singles matches involving one-on-one versus between 2 gentlemen. Well, gentlemen, I usually between 2 males. How about that? Because some of these guys are not exactly gentlemen. But I feel that I'm proud of these 4 matches because I think even Noah would want to see these matches on a New Japan or an AEW or an Impact card. Walter, I said it again. Walter, even though he looks like Gunther, because I think he looks effing fantastic right now. Walter versus Okada.
Rainmaker.
Dude, yeah. Rainmaker, he hits him so hard he bounces off of Walter. Walter goes, that was funny, little man. But then he hits so many times Rainmaker that he actually knocks him down. That's the thing. Okada, with his strong style, would just be trying to chop the big tree down, and eventually he gets him down, you would think. But, man, it would be a hell of a struggle for the most prolific IWGP heavyweight / world champion of all time, because, man, it would be one of those true clash of titans that, man, at the right timing, the right place, the right company for both guys, man, it would have been something special had it happened. I think it still could be if they actually opened that forbidden door all the way open. I really do. As would this one, and this one could actually still happen if they open that forbidden door. Jay White, Seth Rollins, again, the fact that it looks similar was not lost on me when I made this graphic, so forgive me for that. I actually, hand to God, I found a graphic of Seth in like that long black jacket. I'm like, okay, which one's Jay White?
Yeah.
They literally look like they could be Long Lost Brothers or something.
Seriously. But it's one of those, like, I've seen so little of Jay White,
Wait, it all makes sense. Jay White and Tyler Black.
The Masters.
ROH.
Yes. Thank you. Ring of Honor. That's it. Tyler Black. JJ remembers Tyler Black.
I remember Tyler Black.
Everybody remembers
and Jimmy
Tyler.
Jacobs.
Jimmy Jacobs. Yeah. I mean, that guy that got fired didn't give a shit outside of the Toyota Arena. Got it. Yeah, that guy. He didn't give a shit about being fired. He went home. Anyway. These two guys are so similarly physically, and honestly, they're both such puppet masters. It would be a who's gonna mind F the other one worse. That would be a huge part of this match for me personally.
Fair.
All right. Now this one actually could still happen for real if somebody gets better quicker and they realize that while Zack Sabre Jr. would have been a great opponent for Bryan Danielson, can I please have this? Pretty please? With Sugar on top? Like, can we have Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson and just have the cleanup crew ready for good old JM and a cigarette? Like, seriously. Good Lord. Bryan Danielson, since the American Dragon's been released back out of his cage a year and a half ago, whatever it's been now, has been on this tear that JJ and I are just waiting for him to completely go full dragon, shave the head, grow the Beelzebub beard, and just start killing people. Like, randomly just killing people on freaking TNT and TBS. And then you got Ospreay, who, you know, when he's not showing his Kryptonian nature by staying away for 4 days and drinking everything but water, is one of the best damn wrestlers on the planet. Arguably the best. I mean, you've got two of these guys. Bryan Danielson's our best on the planet right now. When AJ Styles is whatever the hell he's doing with Judgment Day, even though they're on freaking main event these days already. Brian's 1A, and they interchange on that status for JJ and I at least. But man, Will Ospreay, finally got to see him as it happened, not on on demand or whatever. Man, this guy can go. Yeah. And we only got a freaking morsel of a taste this week of what Will Ospreay can do in the ring. So him against Cassidy is going to be what's going to be until Cassidy stops fucking around, and then we're going to see some shit on Sunday for sure. All right, the match we were supposed to see Sunday, but again, Punk's in Chicago resting his leg up, so we'll just go ahead. I still want to see it.
Yeah, I do too.
I do. I really do. I've been wanting to see it for years anyway, so this would be on my card if Punk was not injured. Without a doubt. It would be my semi-main in this case. So, don't have to say much about it. We all know this should have happened. We all know it probably will happen one day, so I'm not even going to bother going with the description. Honorable mentions, everybody else I didn't mention. I mean, really, that's just the way it's going to be. Because there's so many people on all four of these rosters. And again, New Japan, I'm grossly ignorant. I'm trying to not actively use Noah's login because that would be illegal. Trying my best to catch up on stuff over the last few years because I originally got my own subscription when Jericho fought Omega. I was gifted Noah's login when I forget when we did that, Noah, so forgive me. But I've been trying to keep up here and there. But there's so many guys on that show, so many guys in Impact and gals in Impact Wrestling. And as we've talked about nauseam, there are so many damn people on the AEW roster. Even 4 shows isn't enough. And WWE, you know, the people they do keep around are actually worth television time if granted the opportunity. But, you know, I think for me, if you're going to have the best of the best from the two primary companies, which in this case, for lack of a better term, are WWE and AEW, you want to get your 10 best. And I'm doing 5-on-5 here. Survivor Series style, elimination if you want. You guys make your choice there at home. Now, one of the people involved are going to be like, why is he here? Because, damn it, he is part of the bloodline, whether y'all like it or not. Solo, Naomi, the Usos, and Roman versus the Undisputed Elite, Kenny by God Omega, Dr. Britt Baker. Say it with me, kids. DMD.
Don't forget it.
Yes. Now, I had a hard time separating Kenny from Matt and Nick. I really did. But I wanted Kenny in the main event. Because I truly feel in my heart if he was healthy, he would be in the main event Sunday night. One way or the other.
Yeah.
So, and again, I wanted Roman in the main event because whether anybody in any room likes it or not, Roman is on top of the business right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
SmackDown is the only show last week that went up in ratings views. And again, ratings are what they are. We talked about that ad nauseum. But it's the only show that moved the needle the right direction last week. Nothing else did. And it wasn't even Vince's segment. It was the main event.
The reason why they call Roman the needle mover.
Exactly. That's why I said that. Exactly. So he's got to be in your last match. And I figured, okay, I'm going with the bloodline. I want to keep it in that vein. Kenny Omega, I think, is the best wrestler in the company, not the world champion when he's healthy. So I wanted him there at the end. But I figured, okay, bloodline's 5 people right there. Okay, Undisputed's 3. Okay, we'll add Britt to have, you know, the family versus family. And then, Kenny deserves. So, yeah, and then, okay, well, Solo's part of the bloodline too. So I happened to find the graphic. I had all 5 in there. I'm like, you know what? It looks horribly edited, so whatever. But, yeah, that was my main event. 5-on-5. Survivor Series if you want, although if you do Survivor Series, you're probably going to be there for 6 hours because of all the spots and all the false finishes. So just on that match alone.
You know what, though? You can't really put time limits on some of these matches. It's like you want to give the fans the absolute best. You want to make it feel special. And that's why we did this fantasy booking in the first place, because it wasn't feeling special.
No.
So, yeah, make it elimination. You don't want something like that to be one fall to a finish, because all it takes is some cheap, underhanded heel tactics. And let's be real, how many people in that match are babyface?
Well,
Solo, maybe?
Solo-ish, and then Naomi, when she's not on timeout, she's a babyface.
So it's like, who's going to upheal the other?
Exactly.
So, yeah, you don't want it to be one fall. You definitely want that to be elimination. That is an amazing card, Meacham. For someone who doesn't know as much about the other talents, I would buy that pay-per-view.
I appreciate that.
James, what say you?
I would buy it. Just there was a lot of matches there that actually intrigued me that I would definitely watch.
Noah?
Oh, definitely. I mean, he definitely had me when it came to Thunder Rosa and Mickey James. When I look at 2 generations, if you figure about, you know, the bloodline, they the ones versus the Undisputed Elite, which honestly, it's like Triple H versus Vince McMahon right there. That's a hell of a way to close out the show. He had great variety across all his matches, and he represented the key players that we talked about. So, Jeff, great job, and I definitely would buy that in a heartbeat and call it.
There you go.
That I appreciate more than you know. And Noah, just so you don't have to worry about being driven to it, at least for tonight, I got you, brother. It's all good. I'm going to need it within the next 3 cards, I'm sure, trying to run this booth. So, All right.
All right. So next up, we're gonna
James,
go
you are
to
on the
James.
You are on the button, man. So
Before you get my screen up, I'll give a backstory because obviously Noah talked about how he's never done a fantasy booking before. My problem is I know too much about it.
Same.
That was my detriment. So I'm going to explain the backstory, and then I'm just going to run through the matches without going too much into explanation. But here's the backstory of how this Forbidden Door concept came to be. Obviously, Cody went to the WWE. Maxwell's talking about trying to go to the WWE.
right.
Mercedes Ronaldo wanted out. She wants to go to AEW. A lot of moving pieces already there. Vince McMahon, the whole scandal. Let's just pretend that Vince McMahon has now been fully ousted from power and he's gone. Who is there to pick up the pieces?
Ultimate Fantasy.
This is totally Ultimate Fantasy. I don't even care. Like, I went full. I was like, okay, well, we could just completely do what we want. I'm gonna try to make something out of this. So
that's right.
Here's my backstory. Nick Khan is now all of a sudden WWE COO. He is the chairman of the board. Here's why. Because, again, I'm just going all over the place with it.
Hey.
He makes a press conference and he says to everybody that's there, I now am the president. If you guys know, you know. You've seen it in the description. But I'm not alone. We're going to be doing our first ever crossover event because the name does say Nick Khan, but there's another Khan involved.
Whoa.
My brother, the AEW president, Tony Khan.
Oh, Lord.
And then he comes out. The Khans are all there. Nick Khan, Shahid Khan, Tony Khan. And they're all, and then Vince probably somewhere is going, Khan! And they talk about doing this crossover and that it was a long time coming. Impact Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling will be involved in this mega crossover. Jeez. That's the story going in there.
That's tremendous.
So that's my backstory in my fucking head. I don't know why it was, but that's what I went with. So there you go. There's your backstory. I'm just going to run through the matches. I'm running through 10 of my favorite matches plus a buy-in, even though this is not in the order. As Jeff said, he'll put the other stuff in the description when it's all said and done. All right, now we can go to my screen. Hopefully this works. Okay, great. Can we see that in full?
Yes, sir.
Okay, buy-in match, even though this isn't the buy-in match at all, as you can clearly tell. I have all one-on-one matches picked, by the way, as my top favorites.
Okay.
Chris Jericho, the Painmaker, versus Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare.
Yes.
So there you go.
Love it. Love that. Love that as your first presentation, whether it's a buy-in or not. That's tremendous. Oh, wow. Yes, please.
And the Cowboy James Storm.
Bleep.
Cowboy James Storm versus Hangman Adam Page. Cowboy Shiznit is about to go down, as JR
Cowboy Shiznit.
Winner and losers buy the audience a beer. Anyway.
Go
ahead.
That is awesome right there.
I love that.
I never even thought about that, and it should have been so freaking obvious.
Dude, you know what? Hell with it. Hang on. Go back.
Go back?
All right, here.
Okay.
Just for that.
What are we doing?
So
keep in mind, so there's a bit of a problem. Whatever you did, I can't see because there's a screen that shows like how to work this presentation on this screen. So I have no idea what you did, but
okay. Okay. So I opened a Stone Cold Broken Skull American Lager. Now I'm sipping it as we have the graphic of Cowboy Shiznit going down.
Gotcha. All right, here we go.
That's it.
Bianca Belair versus AEW's newest signee, Mercedes Bernardo.
That is tremendous.
Yeah.
I love it. I almost booked Sasha on this card, but I couldn't really find a place for her. And honestly, for me, it was one of those. It was one of those. I don't think she wants to be in the business, so I kind of like, man. Anyway, continue.
Well, we'll see.
Yes.
The Face versus the Ace.
Oh, Jesus.
Tanahashi versus John Cena.
That's too damn good. That is too damn good.
the rematch of rematches for the Rev Pro British
King
Commonwealth
Ricochet!
Championship and the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship. Will Ospreay versus Ricochet for the final time.
Clean up aisle 2. Thank you. All right. Anyway, carry on. Oh, but by the way, there's a comment, James, in here. Oh, before we go on to that, let's say, never thought about James Storm Adam Page, but that would be a good one, LOL. That's from King
Thank
A
you.
Train
Much-
in the chat room.
Much
Shout out to
appreciated.
AEW.
Oh, hey, King A-Train. What's
This
up?
one-
I know who you are.
Golly.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
Who's Chess Kincaid's first?
First off, I'll do what Jeff
I'm not
just did.
wrong, am I?
Walter. His name is
Yeah,
Walter.
Walter.
Thank you,
That's it.
James.
That's it.
Versus Miro for the WWE Intercontinental Championship.
A title I think Miro should have won, by the way. Anyway. Oh, there we go.
Angry.
Danielson versus Sabre Jr. That's a big one.
Yes. God, your graphics are amazing. Hello. Yeah, buddy.
Ronda Rousey versus Deonna Purrazzo. You want a submission match? Here's a submission match.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Has to be. Has to be.
Yeah, no other way it could happen with those.
Winner
Oh,
take
boy.
all.
Erminger. Oh, my God.
Impact World Champion Josh Alexander versus Ring of Honor World Champion representing AEW Josh Alexander.
Oy.
The Rainmaker versus Brock Lesnar for the IWGP World Championship.
2 eras of Inokiism.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want to kill poor Okada?
Hey, you know what?
I like Okada.
I like Okada too, but you can't tell me that David and Goliath would not be a belter of a
Seriously.
fucking one-on-one.
Much like him and Walter, it's like, how many times are you going to rainmake him before actually Brock freaking goes down?
I'm about to say, yeah, boy.
Could you imagine too? He counters the F5 into the Rainmaker,
Or vice versa. I was going to say the same thing in reverse. Oh, my God.
Yeah, exactly. The
Counter for
reverse.
counter for counter.
Reversal,
Drop kicks the man.
counter for counter for counter for counter is an Okada specialty.
Right.
Seriously,
Put Brock
freaking,
in there, man. I mean,
Freaking-
come on.
freaking Heyman's head would explode just watching the reversals. King Mike X says Brock would. No.
You are
No.
wrong.
Not
You are very
necessarily.
wrong.
He would not get this man alive at all. It would be a hell of a fight. Now, if it's in the octagon, then yeah, Okada's a dead man.
Yeah. Here we go.
There we go.
John Moxley taking on his brother, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal World Championship.
There
Let's
you
go.
Brings
I
that
love
thing
it.
to AEW.
And to round it off in Chicago,
Yes.
MJF representing WWE taking on the AEW World Champion CM Punk.
If ever there was a way to get Max booed even more, it's coming into Chicago to face CM Punk
Yes.
representing WWE.
Yes.
Like,
Indeed.
goddamn, I love Max, but I think even I would boo him there. Like, sorry, Max. No.
Now, and here's the thing.
Yes.
Now, if you could show my screen just one more time, I'm not going to go through every match here, but
Yeah.
just go here. What does that say right here?
That's
World
World
Tour
Tour Week, you
Week.
crazy bloody fool.
I booked every champion from all 4 promotions during the week.
Wowzers.
Why doesn't James work for the wrestling industry, folks? You tell
Right?
me.
Yeah.
Boys, I wanted to show that off. So again, kind of rounding this off here.
Yeah.
Because obviously you didn't see everything here, and that is not at all the order of everything. Obviously,
No.
There are multi-man matches. There are tag team matches. Obviously, tag team titles are defended. The X Division titles defended. Other championships are defended on my 2-night card.
Right.
There are also a lot of championships that I could not fit in that I wanted to find some place in the week for. So I was like, well, there's a lot of damn wrestling shows that involved with these 4 companies. So fuck with it. Why not? Just put all the titles on that week. So every single championship for Forbidden Door is defended with the exception of the 24/7 title, because who gives a shit? So I threw that out the freaking window.
Oh
pretty
no!
much.
No! Here's what you do: you book that title and just turn them loose downtown Chicago. Last person standing in the streets of Chicago deserves that title.
Yeah, exactly. Just
Run for your
Everybody
life,
that
man! There's a
isn't
bar from
booked-
close to the hotel. I can get you there.
you know what? No, I'll have
everybody that
Toriano win it
isn't
and throw
booked
it in
in
the
a
trash.
legitimate
There you
title
go.
match.
What?
Said everybody that's not booked in a legitimate title match, dump them in downtown Chicago for the 24/7 title. Let them go.
Toriano wins it and then dumps it in the trash. There you go.
That's the worst type of idea I've ever heard in my life. That takes the New Japan
Well,
to another level.
Actually, you could do.
That's a Chicago City riot waiting to happen.
Hey, listen. He wins the title and then he goes and then he throws it in the trash and then he runs away. He's like, "I'm gonna take this home," and then you never see it again. It's done. Perfect. Toriano's title now. Him and R-Truth can have a great comedy program. There. And by the way, I did that off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And
Throw it in the Chicago River and watch it disintegrate in the sludge that is that river. There you go.
So again, last thing I'm gonna say, the card obviously would not take place this Sunday.
Right.
It would take place on July 16th.
Well, there you go.
So in that time, hopefully everybody is cleared of injury and nobody gets injured. That's my idea kind of going in my head. So yeah.
King A-Train says, James, did you just say Toru Yano?
I did say Toru Yano.
You did say Toru Yano. Yes, you did.
But for the 24/7 title. So it all works out. Trash meets trash. There you go.
Our Danhausen gets it, takes it very nice, very evil, and throws it in the river and just never see that freaking thing again.
Danhausen can actually wrestle, though.
You know what?
He can. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, so can Toro, but he never shows it, really.
Doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to. Real quick, I'm only going to say you could... I didn't even think about this until they literally said it. As an impromptu booking here, you could do the 24/7 title triple threat between Toriano, R-Truth, and Danhausen.
Good grief.
You really could.
Oh, yeah, you could.
You actually... I don't know who you get for the Impact side. Maybe Crazy Steve. Yeah, perfect. Crazy Steve. Yeah, it all works. There you go. Yeah, that's all for me.
At least
that's
you
my
didn't
booking.
say Johnny Swinger.
What do we think? What do we think?
Yeah. I love it. I love that. First of all, the graphic work is just extraordinary. Let me just throw that out there right now.
Thank you.
That was tremendous. God, just the one-on-one matches. You've got my whatever the pay-per-view costs. Just in the one-on-one matches.
My only beef is that those images weren't up there long enough for me to truly digest some of them. You know,
yeah.
Jeff kind of gave a little bit of talk about each one of them, gave me a chance to really process the images and everything. And James is like, this match, and here's this match, and here's this match, and here's this match. It's like, dude,
that was
we need to digest this awesomeness.
Bro, you should see the order it was supposed to be in, man. I'm telling you, like, it's phenomenal.
Well, I knew Roman Reigns was not going to be in any spot besides the main events.
Well, yeah, I mean that.
Noah, what
good.
have you got for us?
All right, I've got Noah's stuff loaded in. So JJ, start sending me yours, please.
I'm just basic and simple at this point, but the way I look at it is, first off, when I look at the concept of Door, I think about collaboration. All are involved, all are welcome, all are to try to be presented as much as possible to be defended. So I think about, okay, you give people a bit of a taste. Maybe people that aren't aware of what professional wrestling, damn it, is. So I have WWE and AEW tagging together against, Impact Wrestling and WWE. In my buy-in, I got Street Profits and Private Party versus Rich Swann, Chris Bay, and Dossiger and Ryan Nemeth together to show
There
off.
you go.
And following that, you get a side of the other side of the industry with the women in wrestling. And I got basically WWE and AEW versus Impact, WWE, and AEW. Chris Statlander, Jamie Hare, Rhea Ripley, standout powerhouses of the industry versus Tasha Steelz, Jade Cargill, Becky Lynch, bitches with attitudes that are also badass champions. Or at least were badass champions at one point, two of them.
Yes.
Then going in from there, I go into bringing in what each company represents. Maybe not necessarily their gimmicks, but maybe something that stands out for them. Starting with Impact Wrestling's strongest foundation, the Ultimate X, a chance for either the X Division or IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, where representatives from WWE, Impact, NJPW, and AEW are all involved here. You have the inevitable Ace Austin, Adam Cole, AJ Styles, former King Ricochet himself, Sammy Guevara, who's all about showing off, will do something incredibly stupid off the structure, Darby Allin, Hiromu Takahashi, and the bastard Pac, just to see who might invade NJPW or maybe do something on the Impact roster. After that wild spot fest of high risk offense and structural integrity basically disrupted when it came to the audience noise or just, the state of the actual structure, it seems. I slow things down, well, kind of, without a title on the line, but more of a match about pride and Twitter beef being settled. As you have GTS versus GTS and the best in the world versus self proclaimed best in the world, it seems, and a sleeper himself who definitely has bad taste from his time in the WWE. All three of these men have definitely heat with each other. Figured to be a crazy triple threat banger. CM Punk versus Kenta versus Will Ospreay. And as far as what that match could lead to, I guess it really depends on what the winner motivation is, considering they overcome either the best in the world and can call themselves truly the best above all the rest. You gotta respect women's professional wrestling, damn it. So I have the Impact Knockouts Championship on the line, a fatal four-way with Big Mama Punk Jordan Grace, current Impact Knockouts champion at the time, facing the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair, facing Stardom talent now, former WWE NXT Women's Champion Kyrie, and one of the previous AEW Women's World Champion Hikaru Shida. A match that balances Joshi Pro, Japanese strong style, and powerhouses in professional wrestling. When I was originally doing this, I was thinking about treating it like a 2-day spectacle because I think about, quantity versus quality. I also think about time. I also think about consistency. I also think about representation, but it's still all as one thing, so you can take it for as you will. As we move on from there, Jeff, into a match 4, I have the Impact Championship being defended. And when it came to the championships, I'm like, okay, you are defending your company, but you're also trying to prove you're the best in that company and also one of the strongest professional wrestling. So why not have it be a fun 4-way dance with all the companies involved? As I got Josh Alexander versus Drew Galloway, former Impact World Champion, aka now representing WWE, Drew McIntyre, versus Walter, one of the longest reigning NXT UK champions, versus the limitless one representing AEW, Keith Lee. And this bout pretty much speaks for itself. 4 dynamic, driven Iron Man that will bring you strong style and all the crazy meat on meat spots possible. In what would have been the last match of my first night, I have Ring of Honor being defended and represented here, as Ring of Honor, of course, being rebooted. And I think about Ring of Honor's greats versus somebody that, could carry Ring of Honor to the future. As I have a Ring of Honor World Championship 6-way elimination match where only the last man standing wins. The American Dragon, Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. versus the original Bro, Matt Riddle versus the foundation of Ring of Honor, Jonathan Gresham versus Claudio versus a surprise guest, Kevin Steen, Kevin Owens.
Oh my god.
As we move into what would have been night 2, I have tag team wrestling representation now with the Usos, the best in the WWE, FTR, one of the best in the overall industry, the Young Bucks, one of the best of this generation, and Ring of Honor's #1 tag team of all time, in my opinion, the Briscoes. In a fair way, where both the Ring of Honor and the AEW World Tag Team Championships are being defended. Winner takes all to the first fall.
No
As we
WWE
move on
titles?
from there, the AEW Women's World Championship is being defended, and also a 6-way elimination challenge. I figured I did something for the men, gotta do something for the women to definitely represent the industry. I have Stardom's Mayu Itami versus WWE's Asuka versus Impact Deonna Purrazzo versus AEW's Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker, because they all still have bad blood with each other, versus surprise newest signing to AEW, Sasha Banks.
Love it.
And we move on from
Yes,
there.
sir.
I figured, okay, we had some championship affairs. Why not give the crowd a bit of a reprieve from titles and give them a Lucha Libre showcase? As Rey Mysterio tags with Laredo Kid and the Lucha Brothers, Rey Felix and Penta Oscuro, to take on Ingobernables Global, Rus, Andrade, Tetsuya Naito, and Ryu Lee in an 8-man tag team clash for the ages. All the rubber possible cannot contain these 8 men.
Right.
Moving on from there to my semi-main event, I have the AEW World Championship being defended in a fatal 4-way as current champion at the time, Jon Moxley, faces a ghost of his past, WWE's best, Seth freaking Rollins, versus Moose that wanted to state a case for himself that I am a 5-tool athlete. I should be representing Impact Wrestling. I should be on this card. Gets under Scott D'Amore's skin. Basically, we get some pre-match assaults here, particularly in AEW. And John Moss had enough of this BS. So, all right, I'll take you out too. Versus a guy that's also about taking advantage of opportunity and getting what he wants and determining the future his way. Switchblade Jay White. You might even see some Shield Union during this, and you might see all three tag up against Moose. And in the main event, when I think about the two greatest in the industry today that have defined themselves, those are not injured, you have the standard, the sports entertainer, the one, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, taking on the absolute best in the world today, truly in professional wrestling for the last decade, Renmeka Kazuchika Okada, where both the IWGP World Heavyweight and WWE Undisputed Universal Championship is on the line, where afterwards Triple H endorses the winner, and there's a face-to-face with Kenny Omega. What's to happen next? Stay tuned.
Whew.
Wow.
Wow.
God damn. I reckon.
Jesus, Noah. Where's that meme of freaking Fry from Futurama? Just take my money.
Take my damn money. Yeah, seriously. Jesus. That was good shit, pal.
That was great.
I can understand why your head almost exploded, man. Coming up with that.
And the fact that I did that tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, that's
Right?
crazy.
It's like
You did that tonight? Damn.
he's
Yeah, he
freaking
did,
watching Rampage doing this card.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It took me 90 minutes.
Damn.
Oy.
I feel very inadequate right now.
I'm
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm glad I'm done with that though. Oy.
Yeah.
I'm over this shiznit. Oh my goodness.
It's like,
Oh,
Thanks.
man.
So yeah, go ahead, share your thoughts because everything's involved here. WWE,
It was-
yeah,
NWW,
that was-
AEW, Stardom as well.
That was
Yeah.
very well booked. I appreciate everything that you had there, man. For someone who said that his head was about to explode and keeps going on about how you're a simple man and you just want to do commentary, man, you booked a hell of a card.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Thanks.
You know, and that's the thing is like I know I still have to go. I now have to try to follow all that.
Oh yeah, you know.
You know, I have 3 stellar cards that I have to follow here. And originally I'm like, okay, my show is solid. Now I'm having some doubts about some of my matches because I've heard what you guys have booked. And it just to go and show how in sync me and Jeff are. Me and Jeff actually have one match exactly the same.
Yep. I
Well,
saw.
there
I
you
was
go.
like, "Mucker." And the one that did is not entirely surprising, but you know, yeah.
But it's just so
still
funny
funnier now.
because as our fans out there know, we do our top 10s on Dad's Not Always on Wrestling every other week.
Yes, sir.
And more often than not, especially when we do our wrestling topics, we've got a couple of repeats.
Couple.
So so the fact that we've got this fantasy card that we were able to book with 10 matches from 4 companies, God, hundreds of talents,
Literally.
and we have a match identical. Just goes
What
to
are the
show
odds? What are the freaking odds?
it just goes to show how money this match is, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It is money. It is.
Do you have
Every bit of it.
loaded, Jeff?
I'm ready.
All right, so I'm kicking my show off with just a standard tag team match. Nothing fancy on the line, but all 4 of these men are known for being kind of cocky, kind of arrogant. I've got the Miz and Theory versus the Major Players with
Oh.
Chelsea and Maurice at ringside.
How many crickets?
All right, I like.
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
like
good.
this setup.
That's good shit, pal.
That's good shit, pal.
That's
You know,
good.
I always loved Ryder and Hawkins when
Yes.
they were in WWE,
The edge head.
going all the way back to the Edge Heads.
Oh yeah.
And then obviously Zach's rise to fame, the groundswell movement for him to become United States champion, and the way he just kind of got dicked. I always thought Hawkins kind of got the raw end of the deal.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You absolutely are not wrong.
Not
And
at
then you
all.
look at the WWE side of things, and like Miz, 2-time Money in the Bank winner, 2-time WWE champion. Theory, clearly the successor, the heir apparent to the Miz's throne.
Oh yeah.
And they've had good chemistry in the ring the few times they've interacted with each other before. So I feel like the two of them would gel so good going up against the established tandem of Hawkins and Ryder, the major players,
I would.
you know.
I wish I did that match, honestly. Damn.
And then you have the X Factor on the outside. You've got
Yeah.
Maurice and Chelsea.
The hot mess versus Maurice that was just telling her to touch the hand, and Chelsea Green will have none of that.
No.
So
Not a bit of it.
that is my curtain jerker, gentlemen.
Nice.
Just your curtain jerker. I see. Okay.
Curtain jerker, hot women. Anyway,
Jeff-
we'll go right along to the next match. All right, JJ.
Jeff has now seen all my images. Like, it's hard to figure which one of these matches would be main event. Like, there's a lot of these that seriously could be main event matches. I mean, obviously there's only one choice. You know, he's appeared in all of our main events. Spoiler, he'll appear in mine.
Yes.
Yeah.
But so many of these matches could be a viable contender for main event.
Yep.
Much like my second match, we're going with a TNA staple here, gentlemen. We're going with Ultimate X.
Here you
Yeah.
Ricochet, Speedball Mike Bailey, Bateman, Scorpio Sky, Sami Zayn, Ace Austin,
Yeah.
TJ Perkins, and Darby Allin.
go.
And
Nice.
yes, Jeff knows that I picked Sky, Bateman, TJ, and Zayn because of our history with those four gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad-
I got the idea from that when I noticed, because I was like, why do I feel like four of these is like a personal thing versus that other for them, like, oh, these make perfect sense.
Well, I mean, you figure they'd be perfect for this type of match anyways, but I mean, Sky, Sami Zayn, El Generico, TJ Perkins, Puma, those guys all have history with us for Pro Wrestling Guerrilla.
Oh yeah.
Tyler Bateman, championship from Hollywood, Battleground Pro Wrestling, a Santino Brothers affiliate. Like,
Yep.
we saw him on the come up over a decade ago. I don't know if he's still with Rays or if he's not
No,
with
no,
Rays,
he
but
broke up a while ago, actually.
the two
There
of
you go.
them together. But those guys have such back history with us, and then they just fit and gel into this type of matchup. Like,
Yeah.
who would you pick to win Ultimate X out of these competitors?
The fans.
Yes.
Seriously.
Period.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that booked an Ultimate X on my booking.
Oh well, yeah.
thought
I
was gonna be the
mean-
only one.
The
I
one.
no, you
I
could not
knew I
have
had
a
to have an
super
Ultimate
card.
X because the Ultimate X is one of those matches that truly shows endless possibilities in all things wrestling.
Yeah,
True.
go and pull the graphic down, Jeff.
Okay.
I don't feel like you can have a super card like this without some of those homegrown specialty matches.
Yeah.
No,
And-
exactly.
And I've got a couple more of those coming up down the road.
Yeah, the one I called my single spot monkey. You can make that Ultimate X or ladder or whatever, man.
Yeah.
Those the guys you had in yours and the guys James had in his and the ones I had in mine, they all could Ultimate X the hell out of Ultimate X.
Yeah.
So it's,
I mean, you figure
Exactly.
4 of our guys were in your Ultimate X, or 3 of my guys were in your Ultimate X,
there you
Because
go.
you had Ricochet, you had Sky, you had Ace.
Yep.
I had Ace and I had, so yeah.
So, it's like, it
I definitely, I had Ace. I had Ace. I believe you had another one. Show the graphic again
For yours or for mine?
for
mine.
JJ's. For JJ's.
Yeah, I had Ace, Ricochet, and Darby Allin.
I had Mike Bailey. I had Ace Austin. I had TJP. I think. Yeah. So
I would have had Mike Bailey, but Pac took him out.
yeah.
Jiminy Crickets.
So, there you go. Now, my third match is the one that I added, the one that I asked because of the segment if I could throw another match in there. And it's just going to be a physical encounter between two beasts. Madcap Moss and Wardlow.
Yeah.
And we're not going with this goofy Moss that was running with Corbin. No. We're going
God.
with the Moss that annihilated Corbin
Yes.
at the Red Crate of Hate pay-per-view.
Pleasure.
We're going with Riddick Moss, essentially. We're
Yes.
going with the new and improved Moss against this just unstoppable force that is Wardlow.
Yeah, buddy.
100%. I like this little exhibition.
This is just going to be smash mouth, balls to the wall, power and glory, if you will,
Oh, man.
wrestling.
There will be no laughing. There will be spines bending.
Yeah, big time.
And just remember, half power and glory is still not the worst horseman. Anyway.
Wow. You had to go there.
But all right, continue.
July 28th. We moved that show up, by the way. Anyway, carry on.
My next match is a elimination match.
Yes.
Ooh, all right.
4-on-4 women. We've got Team WWE, Ronda Rousey, Bayley, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch. I was going to go with Sasha and do the horsewomen, but with her status being what it was and is, I didn't want to book her.
No.
Versus Taya Valkyrie. Noah, take it away on the other side. You can do these women.
You got La Güera Loca, the AAA Reina de Reinas champion, Taya Valkyrie. You got Mercedes Martinez, the current Ring of Honor Women's World Champion, Dr. Britt Baker, D. Don't forget it. And the excellence of technical execution, the virtuosa, Diana Purrazzo.
Thank you very much there, Noah, because I just knew you could do those women more justice than I could. But I mean, just look at these 8 women. And then you figure a Survivor Series style elimination match.
Yes, please.
Again, who do you book to win this here? Give it to me one more time, James.
The thing. Oh, well, that was me, but the fans.
The fans.
The fans, simple as that. Although I'm just looking right now, I see I'm just looking right now. I see 8 different combinations just flowing through my head, my brain. Oh, I like this match a lot.
Thank you.
So Noah, when I do take over the world, can you do commentary and ring announcing for me? Can we do that?
Yeah, I mean, sure, why not?
Okay. Okay.
This match is in this slot, and it is no slight to either of the men involved. It's just Jeff can see what is coming, and what? Yeah,
Stack.
just trying to juggle everything. So we've got CM Punk versus Okada.
Oh God! Oh my gosh!
One of the only professional graphics that I could already find, because God knows this is a match people want.
Exactly. This is a Wrestle Kingdom main event that needs to freaking happen.
So yeah, so I'm giving it to people on my show, Punk Okada.
Yeah, buddy.
When I first heard about Forbidden Door, this was one of the 2 matches I wanted to see.
Definitely.
Same.
I mean, obviously they were teasing Punk versus, help me out, Noah, still learning the guys.
The ace of New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Thank you. Obviously they were teasing Punk Tanahashi, but with what limited knowledge I had of New Japan, this is what I wanted to see when I first heard it announced.
I love it.
Honest to God, Jay, if there was one world championship that Punk hasn't won yet that he would chase with great furiousness, it'd be that IWGP World Championship.
Yeah.
Him and Okada, let's go, dude.
I mean, Okada's one thing, the title's another thing. Jeff, we talk about championships in wrestling. When it comes to the most prestigious championships in the industry, NWA, 10 pounds of gold, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, that's gotta be your top 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Next to gold.
I mean, we do slight the company, rightfully so. There's no doubt about it. But the WWE Championship, the IWGP Championship, the NWA Championship, just the length and lineage of those 3, it's those are the standard bearers. AEW's playing catch up fairly well. for a 3-year run. They've had a good run there. The Impact Championship is a mixed bag because of who's been running the company at one particular time, but there's still a good solid lineage on that title too. But when we talk about longevity, it's definitely the WWE Championship, the NWA Championship before it, and then IWGP Championship the last 30, almost 40 years now for the championship. Yeah, it's crazy.
And 50 years for the company, 40 years just for the incarnations of that championship.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Figure Hogan won that Grand Prix thing in '83, the month after I was born. So it's almost as old as me as far as the original World Championship.
Right.
There you go.
They don't even use that for the graphics when it came to the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. But of course, when it changed hands, do the whole Inokiism thing and stuff like that.
Yeah, but again, if you go back, Inoki, and then definitely mid '80s, so at least 35, 40 years old, which is still extraordinary for a championship to have lasted that long, and the company still be around too.
Exactly.
But so yeah, Punk challenging for that is not far fetched at all.
No, not at all.
The next one on my list is an interesting dynamic because this is going to be a specialty match. And generally this match is contested as individuals. I've never heard of it being contested as tag teams. We're going to have a Monsters Ball match, gentlemen.
Oh, Lord, that's what this is? Jesus.
What?
You're a sick bastard.
Oh my
and
God.
Stroke.
Whoa.
Whoa.
The Briscoes, the Blackpool Combat Club, the United Empire, and Imperium.
Good Lord.
I
in
mean,
a
two of these
Monsters
definitely
Ball
makes
match.
sense, but Walter is the personification of classic unorthodox throwback, and now you try and make him use toy.
Whoa.
JJ, what the hell alternative reality did you just made in this?
Jeff assumed James's gimmick. You sick fuck. You sick fuck.
God.
I know that
I can
they're
watch this. I
not
can look at
your
this graphic all night.
typical, blood and guts type of wrestler.
Ballroom dancers.
But I feel like Walter is such this force, like we were talking about a few times, trying to chop the tree down.
Yes.
And then you put him in this type of insanity where he has to rise to the occasion.
Yeah.
That's true. That's fair. That's a fair.
You figure you've got Regal out there more than likely with the Combat Club.
Oh, yeah.
On commentary.
And Regal, if we're being honest, very much more than likely had his hands in Imperium when he was the commissioner of NXT.
Oh, yeah,
no
definitely.
doubt. Are you kidding me?
Definitely sign both those guys. Absolutely.
So it's not too far fetched when you really think about it.
Not at all.
God, so that's just seriously. I saw this. I figured, okay, he's either doing a fatal 4-way tag or he's doing some kind of war games because you got Regal in there, so you can just go war games just because.
Exactly.
Yeah, Monsters Ball. That's
batshit crazy,
bastard.
You sick bastard.
Yeah, Jesus. Oh my goodness. CC's got it on the money. Your girl's got it paid, man. I'll tell you what. Good Lord.
Hey, just keep in mind, I actually did book for a while, Jeff, back in the olden days.
Yeah.
So
oh yeah.
now we're gonna lighten things up a little bit, and this is my segment.
This one they cleaned up the blood from Monsters Ball.
Pretty much. Go ahead and throw the graphic up there, Jeff.
The audience either, gas themselves. Oh God.
Yeah.
We're having a rap battle, baby.
Let him pitch.
Damn it.
A good old-fashioned freestyle rap battle.
Listen.
That's a good one.
Yo. Cut the beat.
Oh my God.
JJ. Wow.
Love it.
Again, man, we're talking a super show. You can't have a show of this caliber and not have Cena make an appearance.
No.
You got QT Marshall Kona, Katsura Shibata. You got John Cena Caster with a rap battle for the ages.
Yep. Even if you're not going to book him to wrestle, and let's be real, I like Cena, but he can't go the way some of these guys can go.
No.
He is going to get humiliated in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
But something like this,
he will shine.
Yeah.
I feel like he could go against Tanahashi now. No.
Well, you know what? And again, this little. I'm gonna a little inside baseball. John going out there for something like this and rapping with Max Caster. First of all, Max Caster would be like, yes.
Yeah.
Number
true.
one.
Yes.
Number two, John would eat this shit up. He would love every bit of not having to do a goddamn thing, but be verbally creative. He'd
Yep.
be all over it.
Unscripted, by the way. too.
Yeah, seriously. Throw the pieces of paper away at the curtain and just go, Max, John, have fun.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Fair enough.
Don't worry about getting fired because, John, you're 20 or 10 year, and Max, you've already said enough anyway where you should have been fired.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Jesus.
mean, Jesus.
That's crazy. I
That is so damn good.
Like I said, this was in the spot of one of my matches, and when I was told that I could add another match and make this just the segment that it truly is,
Yeah.
because there's not going to be physicality. Like at
No.
most, Cena's going to burn Caster, hit him with a proto bomb, the 5-knuckle shuffle, and that's it.
Right.
Third life.
You know, but
The
like,
sneaks. Oh my gosh, that is brilliant.
But that's still a great segue from Monsters Ball and having to have the freaking cleanup crew get rid of that DNA off the mat, you know.
yeah, because we've still got 4 banners that are coming here,
Oh, yeah.
including the next match, which is the one Jeff and I had in common.
Yes, sir.
I knew it. I freaking
Right?
knew it.
How do you not? How do you not know it's
I
Brian,
knew it.
right?
Yeah, it had to be.
Come on
Osprey and
now.
Danielson.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a good
again,
one.
when I heard about the Forbidden Door, Punk Okada,
Yep.
Osprey Danielson were the
Yep.
2 matches I wanted.
Yep.
As most people would agree with you.
And neither one was being teased
No.
because it was going to be Tanahashi Punk and Saber Danielson. So we still weren't going to get the matches that I really wanted to see.
No.
Right.
So, goddamn it, those were the first 2 I had for my show.
But Jay, to be fair, now that we know that AEW and New Japan are willing to do things like this, when Punk and Brian get healthy, oh boy. Oh boy.
We'll have to see how this show goes over.
This is also
Yeah,
true.
that's true.
That's right.
Although, like we said at the top, they've really done us a good solid and themselves a good solid the last week of TV.
They've done pretty good with that.
I still think the gods of Bleacher Report login help, but man, even if I wasn't logged into somebody else, I'd be like, dude, take my 50. Like this looks amazing.
Yeah, and like I said, we have not seen something like this since really All In, and that really was kind of day 0 of what became AEW. And
All
I really
In
listened to the interview with Kenny Omega and Shamrock Sapp, and the fact that Kenny Omega is so proud of what AEW has accomplished and that this is happening and everything like that. And again, this was kind of like, their vision. And now that's being a reality. And they hope to do more with this. It hurts them that even in a commentary type stance, he can't even be a part of this because he doesn't want to give those fans that suspension, let alone take another spot from somebody else that could use it or deserve it. So again, AEW, Kenny Omega, NWW, everybody that made this possible, thank you. And I truly hope this does become an annual thing and gets wider spread out.
Amen.
I'll tell you what, we'll talk more about it after JD's on this list, but this is going to be a hell of a fun night Sunday, one way or the other. So
I can't wait.
My next match is going to be a spot fest. We're going tables, ladders, and chairs.
Oh my.
Oh,
whoa! Hang on. You know what? I forgot Christian was still active. I'm like, wait a minute. I forgot he was still active roster. Never mind. Good.
He's active roster, and he's just broken off of Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Edges away from the Judgment Day. So for one night only, Edge and Christian back together again.
Nice.
The team
Versus
that
the
reeks
Bucks.
of awesomeness.
Versus the Bucks.
Yes.
We've seen the Hardys in the Bucks,
Yes.
but we've never seen ENC versus the Bucks.
No, we haven't.
Versus the Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah, baby.
Jesus.
Versus Raisuke, Taguchi, and Master Wato. Did I say that right?
Rizusuke Taguchi and Master Wato 6 or 9. Yes, you did. That's brilliant.
There we go.
That's tremendous.
TLC rules.
I don't think Taguchi's been in a match with a freaking table ladder or chair in his life, and the way this guy wrestles, he's not gonna know what to do with those type of items.
That'll be the great part about it. He'll be so clusterfucked in his brain, he'll be like, all right, well, let's go for it.
Wait,
Sink
Jeff.
or swim,
He's the coach.
adapt
He'll
or
have to
lose your
try and
belt.
figure out a play on the fly.
Yes, sink or swim, adapt or lose your belts.
That's right. This is one of those that this is definitely for the benefit of those without photography.
Oh, yeah. You're going to need it.
Yeah.
Don't blink.
Just putting it out there. Taguchi, do not show your funky weapon.
Oh, whoa!
Whoa.
He's already done a couple of times during the Best Super Juniors and literally sat in on it for the win. Oi.
Monetization lost.
Oh,
Yeah.
we already lost that shit an hour ago. Who you talking about?
Accurate. 100%. Okay. Comment needs to go away. Damn it! Quit it. There we go.
Oh, God.
Technology bots. There it is. Okay.
Botch.
All right,
Sorry.
in my semi-main event,
Penultimate.
we are
Alright.
having a triple threat of dominance.
Ooh.
The image is a little outdated
Oh,
because I know
God.
Tasha lost her belt.
That's okay. It's Forbidden Door.
But
Okay.
Bianca,
Bitches with attitudes as champions. Oh, boy.
Love it.
Bianca versus Jade versus Tasha.
Mhm.
This is
Damn
good.
good
This is
stuff.
good shit.
Yeah, I like this. I like it. I
There's
like
a
it.
reason why I had them as my buy-in team.
God
All
damn
three
it.
of these women, they could boast about who truly is the best, but can you ask yourself, can they coexist? Here, you're going to ask who truly is the best. I got to ask you, JJ, is all the gold on the line?
Yeah, I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be.
Winner take
There
all.
you
That's
go.
it.
You know, and in all honesty, and this may sound insane to y'all, I would see Jade picking this up.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I
would too,
feel-
I agree.
actually.
I feel
definitely agree. You
Bianca
kidding me?
and Tasha would be so hell bent on each other that
Yep.
Jade, being the consummate heel that she is,
Yep.
would just sneak right in for that victory.
There you go.
She literally, that just fits her character to a T, and if nothing else, because it's triple threat, she could have a new baddie interfere on her behalf.
hmm Or find out that one of them was in cahoots with her all along as a new baddie,
There you go.
turning in the process. Like, could you imagine if Bianca turned heel and was a secret baddie with Jade?
Oh,
That'd be
my
awesome.
God.
That'd be awesome.
You would make James and King's night.
Yeah, I'd be happy about that. To be honest.
I love for the record that JJ semi main and women's main overall is women of diversity battling
Yes.
for the top women's spot on your
I-
particular
I-
card. That's
I-
awesome, dude. I dig that shit. That's great.
Respect,
That is
brother.
great.
Respect.
Good
I
stuff.
don't know much about Tasha. I haven't seen her a whole lot, but I love me some Bianca and some Jade.
Tasha Steele, the first time I saw her was Summer Card of Honor in Toronto, Ontario,
Yep.
Canada. In 2019, taking on Kelly Klein for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship at the time. Good bout, fell short. She spent a little bit of time in the NWA, as you know, Jeff, taking
Yes.
on the likes of also Thunder Rosa during her time there. And since Fire and Flavor broke up after they were when they came back into existence, the Knockouts Tag Team Champions. They had a fallout, but Tasha, she did whatever it takes on her own, and she already has trailblazed her own legacy for the short haul as Knockouts champion and was involved in the first ever Queen of the Mountain, won the first ever Women's Ultimate X in Impact TNA Wrestling's history, and now will face Jordan Grace again in a rematch one-on-one for the Knockouts Championship next week, Friday night, at Against All Odds. She is somebody that has really grown to her potential and surpassed expectations, mine included.
Becoming a knockout has definitely let her spread her wings and fly. I
Yeah.
was just about Tasha before we get to your main event, JJ. The only thing you really need to know about Tasha is 3 words: Mickey, James, endorsement.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's fair.
I mean,
Exactly.
That's fair. Now, was it you, James, or you, Jeff, who had the bloodline as a whole in your main
That
event?
would- That would be Jeff.
that would be me.
Okay, that's true because you only had one-on-ones.
But yeah, I only
Officially,
gave
officially.
I only gave one-on-ones
Yes.
officially.
Yes.
So my main event is the bloodline. You've got Roman, the Usos, Solo Sikoa, and Heyman versus Prince Devitt, AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, Kenny Omega, and Switchblade Jay White for the Bullet Club War Games.
You're putting
War Games.
Okay. As a Paul Heyman guy, what the hell?
Hey, do you not remember J.J. Dillon in there with the Horsemen in War
You
Games?
remember JJ still
Paul
walks with a
Heyman.
hump in his shoulder because of War Games?
Hey, Paul Heyman is going in there.
Oh my God.
War
Heyman's gonna
Games.
die.
I feel like nobody realistically can stop the bloodline. So it may just take people from every fucking company. And when you figure that
Damn
those people from every fucking company were also leaders of the Bullet Club,
Yep.
the
Including
bloodline
the-
have
including
targets
the
on their
original to begin
backs,
with,
gentlemen.
and- Yeah.
Mm.
Wow. Prince
That's-
Devitt, Adam Cole, AJ Styles, Jay White, Kenny Omega, they all have done stuff with the Bullet Club. And yeah, Carl Anderson, you got the machine gun in there, which I find is a nice twist because I was like, where's Adam Cole here? But when I figure about Carl Anderson being a former G1 Climax finalist, he could be literally like the weapon or the enforcer that crew needs. It's one thing to have every leader. It's another thing to see if those egos can coexist too. I like this a lot here. But Paul
Good
Heyman,
stuff.
yeah, Paul Heyman's gonna die.
Haven't the Jewish people suffered enough, Jay? I mean, really.
Oh, wow.
Jesus.
Oh God!
After what James said on the last show, you're really going to go there, Jeff?
I'm just saying.
Hey! If I went there, it's his show. He can go there if he wants.
I didn't say the word. I'm just trying to point out the suffering of poor Paul Heyman being put in a freaking two-ring double cage.
But
What do
like
you
I
do?
said, I think back and I look at the War Games matches where J.J. Dillon was involved. And if Paul Heyman truly wants to be able to call himself the greatest manager in wrestling history,
There you go.
he needs to step inside that War Games.
Gotta survive War Games. That's it.
They'll be lucky if he ever speaks again after this.
To be fair, JJ is the one that took the fall in the very first War Games because he took the Doomsday device and then just his shoulder went one way, the rest of them went the other, which is why he took the pinfall. Or he's the one that submitted the first time. So,
But you've also got to figure, would the bloodline protect the wise man or hang him out to dry?
Horseman tried.
Mm.
Horseman tried to protect JJ.
How valuable is the wise man to the bloodline?
There you go. There you go. Put Sammy in the War Games with the bloodline.
Oh
There
my
you go.
Oh
Sammy's
my
an
God,
Ultimate
yeah.
X.
Yes. Sammy's reigning Ultimate X. Otherwise, he'd be there. He'll be there for your moral support.
Yeah, he'll show up and bring a weapon at some point. And
There you
throw
go.
him in the
Freaking
tire.
Arn Anderson saw slip a tire iron in there.
Yeah.
So that is my
That's
card,
great.
gentlemen.
I saw that match and you're thinking, like, that's a hell of a 8-man, but why I didn't understand that you had Paul as an umbrella. I'm like, damn, that's evil.
Adam Pearce makes it official.
Good segue, Noah. Once again, the commentary man coming through. Happy birthday, Adam Pearce, by the way, everybody out
Happy
there.
birthday!
Happy birthday, champ. Again, I don't know who all's seen the NWA Championship be defended live. For me, the greatest NWA champion I ever saw defend the championship live in person.
And Jeff will make that comment official as we make it official that Adam Pearce, you're 1 year older. Congrats.
That's right. JJ and I both got to discover Adam's true awesomeness in NWA Hollywood wearing the 10 pounds of gold. So, and now he's on WWE TV making everything official every week. So
There we go.
dig
Thoughts
it.
on my card, gentlemen.
Again, take my 50 and run. Like, seriously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, again, there's a lot of dynamics there. You're bringing some homages into play. I love the fact you used 2 of Impact Wrestling homages here. And the fact that Walter and a Monster's Ball, good God almighty.
Like I said, you sick fuck. You sick fuck.
Yeah.
Someone gets friggin' chopped into a bed of tacks.
Yeah, seriously, Walter and Marcel in a war and a Monster's Ball. It's like, let's just have Raven referee and truly do a man. Like, let's just do it.
Raven's not contracted, but Abyss is an agent. He could referee.
Oh, God.
He is an agent.
Hasn't Joseph Park's brother suffered enough in his career?
Jeff's walked off.
Wow, JJ.
That
James,
is
your
that
thoughts.
is obscenely evil. That is.
That was a great card, JJ. I gotta.
that was
So
a really
good.
good card, man.
I
That was really good.
again for two guys that don't know a lot about the New Japan product, for two guys that aren't, or for a guy that's not big on fantasy booking, and even these two who are knowledgeable in the product surpass anything I thought they would do. And like I said, I want him ring announcing, I want him commentary, I want you doing match graphics, I want your enthusiasm for the product, and I want them to have the stroke. That's the goal for the Sunday. That's what we're doing. Oh, good stuff. I love it. I love every bit of that. So good. And yeah, wow. Just that's it. That was JJ's card in a nutshell. Just wow. Good stuff.
So
I love it.
now the $1 million question is to the people in the chat rooms.
Oh Lord.
What shows do you prefer our cards for Forbidden Door, or what is legitimately on paper? Like,
Yeah.
what got you more hyped? Which show would you rather buy? Let
That's a
us
good
know.
question.
Make it a Twitter poll or something, because our YouTube community.
I definitely
poll,
will.
because,
I definitely will. Once we're off and on demand, I'll definitely throw it up there. But you guys have the chance to see at least what AEW New Japan have for us, because we are going live this Sunday with our extensive coverage beginning at 6:30 Eastern.
Yes.
Noah will be on the call with us. James, you're gonna be on the call with us as well, correct?
I will be, yes.
Okay, very good.
Casey also might.
Okay, cool. That's like I said, we had the discussion, so we're good. We're good on the team being intact. I love it. And again, 8:00 is the play-by-play. Again, there'll be at least one buy-in match, if not two, if I remember right.
There are 3 buy-in matches,
There you go.
Jeff, on the first hour before the pay-per begins, and 9 on the main card.
Jeez,
That's crazy.
that's considering we limited ourselves to 10 and they only went up to 13. That's not bad for them, or 12. That's not bad for them at all. So
yeah, and the fact that the main card is actually 9 versus the entire main card of freaking 13, massive improvement.
Definitely. And again, if the past is to be any indication, these matches will go, and they will. The pace will be good.
Yeah.
Those Over Nothing seemed to fly by because there wasn't much of bullshit and gaga in between, which was great. So hopefully the inclusion of New Japan will be a similar, because the New Japan shows tend to go pretty fast from match to match too, if I remember right. So
They usually do, because again, New Japan Pro Wrestling pretty much it's match, then match, then match, then match. They used to do the
Well,
VTR
keep
before,
in
like,
mind
all the
this is
matches.
also a TK production as well.
But like we said, AEW tends to go pretty fast too.
Yeah, because
I will say
it's small video recap, and then boom, go to the match.
I will say this, and Raymond picked JJ's card first and me second, so I appreciate that, Ray. Thank you very much. Considering I had no expectations on me doing this, so I appreciate the acknowledgement there. And like I said, Noah did his in 90 minutes, so God bless him for throwing it together. I really appreciate that. There is a lot of stuff coming up. I'm going to get the plugs in here since we're getting close to. Actually, it's about 1:15, so it's usually by the time I stop, it's 1:15 the hour anyway on my show. So we'll just run through the plugs real quick again. Well, and we'll do the Sunday show for last. But there's a lot of cool stuff coming up for JJ and for myself. Of course, JJ's doing the rest of his. We saw it in the trailer before the show. Kick-Ass 2 on Monday. You're doing this Saturday. Tomorrow's movie is a Netflix original called Hustle from Adam Sandler. That was on the trailer because I didn't have that included. And then, of course, Sunday's The War Zone, your weekly acquisition report. So it's always cool. Monday, we are also, I didn't put this in the graphic, and that's my fault. We're doing Renegades recap still Monday, correct?
I thought we said we were going to do it on Tuesday.
I clearly lost track of that conversation. So Tuesday, there's a pay-per-view on next set weekend, so we were going to do it at 3 or 4.
I think you said 4.
Okay, because 4 is when No DQ is doing their pay-per-view predictions, which I didn't remember until just now.
Oh, crap.
We'll talk about other. Anyway, so one way or the other.
It's all right, because more people would probably turn into mine on demand anyways.
Well,
so it's not
whatever.
a big deal. If we're competing with No DQ, it's different formulas. It's wrestling versus movies. We're not going to have a lot of the same audience anyways.
No.
True enough. And by the way, Renegade, we talked about this. I forgot about this. Renegades recap, Renegades reviews, and the Warzone are Casa exclusive, so make sure you check out Casa Studios. We're on that channel right now, so if you haven't subscribed, hit that button and do that.
And this week's Warzone is actually going to be the longest one to date so far. It's almost 40 minutes of just stuff that I found at secondhand stores.
He's been busy this week, so that's awesome. I dig that.
Browsing,
I dig it.
man.
So once we actually get into the meat and taters of the broadcast, Monday, of course, is John Cena's 20th anniversary. So somehow he and I are going to come up with 10 matches each of people you can't see. So it's going to be an interesting show, to say the very least.
Vacant and all his championship wins.
That's right. Vacant's championship glory will be showcased Monday, beginning at 3 p.m. Pacific. Of course, every Tuesday we do Talk Wrestling on NoDQ.com, on the Costume Studios, a Great Cherry brand, of course, on the Jeff Meacham Network. So be looking for Talk Wrestling. Wednesday, JJ has a double feature, 3 p.m. Pacific of Top Gun, and then 3:30 of the sequel Maverick. It's his last movie's only one sequel for the month of June before he goes into Disney land when it comes to his movie reviews. So We'll be looking forward to that. Wednesday, of course, at 7 o'clock Eastern is the Greg Cherry Show, because that's what we do on Wednesdays. Thursday, I don't think there's anything. Oh, Thursday, there's something planned because it's the last episode of your recaps of Obi-Wan Kenobi, which you're going to review last week's finale. Which
if y'all have been keeping up with the Kenobi series, you know how amazing the finale was. And
no spoilers on the air here, but if you are a fan, you'll want to see his review, because if he was as emotional as I was watching it when it dropped, you'll all be a mess. If you're not a fan of or if you haven't watched Obi-Wan but you're a Star Wars fan, get on that shit right now. And then, of course, Thursday, the No DQ review every week. Friday we start July, because it is July 1st. Your first movie for Disney month will be Beauty and the Beast, because that was the first movie in the Renaissance era that you did not cover, because last time you did Disney, you ended with The Little Mermaid, which was actually the first official Renaissance movie. Yeah. So Beauty and the Beast on Friday, which is one of my all-time favorites. I love that movie. I love all the Disney movies. Let's not even front. But that's going to be awesome. And then for Fridays at 6:05 in July, I hit the wrong graphic because I can't see. I'm blind. There it is. There we go. Flair Flashback Fridays, because I've allowed myself to be okay with that match in the bottom right not being his last match anymore, much to my initial chagrin. So I got a couple of people lined up to do commentary. I did put it out there. If anybody was at any of these shows that have these matches, please let me know. I would love firsthand perspective besides my own. Starkey 83, of course, in Greensboro against Harley. The match in the bottom left was actually a WCW house show that took place between Ricky Steamboat's win in Chicago and the 2 out of 3 Falls match in New Orleans at the Clash. So that'll be on Friday, July 8th, and a house show. And as I mentioned on the NerdQ yesterday, it was actually the first match period that Big Dave actually gave more than 5 stars to. So Starcade 93 with Vader. The 15th, the 22nd will be Edge and Ric Flair from TLC on Raw back in January of 2006. And then Friday the 29th, the day before the big weekend starts, although that'll be the weekend Starcast is already underway, Flair and Michaels, of course, from WrestleMania. So that's on Fridays. Next Saturday, of course, is Money in the Bank, although you can get your official Hush shirt over at prestige.com/Jeff Meacham Network, which I showed you earlier because I'm just a horrible person. But it's still funny. Next Monday, July 4th, yes, it is Independence Day, so we're sticking with the topic we had lined up, Will Smith's greatest songs. And that's we decided it's going to be a collaborative effort, right? Because me and Will Smith's songs knowledge don't really go well. I'm just not anything beyond Men in Black and some of his other ones. I'm very lost, but I will try.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air fame.
I was going to say, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I know that one very well. I will do my best to get 10. I'll try very hard, I promise, Jay.
I'm not rapping that on air.
Well, maybe break your spirit and get you drunk. You can do a karaoke style. Anyway, Thursday, July 7th, a week from this coming Thursday, will be the only show that has absolutely nothing to do with Ric Flair or championship necessarily, because that'll be the ranking the entire roster, all 6,500 of them that were ever in the NWO and WCW or the WWE. So that'll be so. Go ahead.
Jesus. Oh,
So we're starting at the No DQ review at 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be on the air till about Friday, July 15th, roughly, give or take a week. That's next Thursday. Again, Friday, Flair Fridays. The following 2 Mondays will be Ask the Dads, because the 25th, JJ and I will be doing Shawn Michaels' greatest matches along with guest star Step Boy Mike, who is our resident Casa Shawn Michaels aficionado. Of course, Greg also is a Shawn Michaels fan, and we did throw it out there, but I think he's off, not work. I think he is working that time slot, so he won't be available. But we'll see. Thursday, July 14th, another. It is Flair Pictures, but it's really about the championships. Which championship, classic championship, and I'm talking the originals, has the greatest legacy? That'll be the discussion. Thursday, July 14th, again at 6:05, because there's a Ric Flair show. So, let's see. 15th, another Flair show. 16th, I'll plug last, actually. July 17th, over on the Forbidden, the Twitter redacted. Whether I go or not, because that's still up in the air, unfortunately, because I didn't get a confirmation. But one way or the other, we will broadcast the original opening day of Disneyland that's on YouTube with some added old school commercials, thanks to suggestion from the man to my left, and promotions for both the Renegade channel and or the Cost channel and my own channel throughout the show. So that'll be a cool little hour and a half of nostalgia, one way or the other. I found commercials I didn't even know existed from 1955 or that era. Good stuff.
Good shit, pal.
Does Shawn Michaels plug? Thursday, the 28th, will be a very special edition of Dads on a Thursday, brother, because we have moved this show up because of Flair's retirement. The definitive collaborative ranking of all 10 incarnations of the greatest faction in history, the Four Horsemen. And yes, Paul Roma nor Sid Vicious are at the bottom. So, Paul, you got a reprieve this week, brother.
The man who tried to stab a horseman.
Seriously, this man tried to murder the horseman, and Sid's still not the worst.
And neither one of them are in the last spot.
What could it possibly be? You'll have to wait till the 28th. Because then the next day, the Shad's a fan of Nashville. Okay, so we're not going officially. We all know that we're not going to be able to be there. I'm trying very hard to make it a reality, but it doesn't look good right now. But I don't think the first event in the graphic is going to be covered, broadcast over streaming. But I will be definitely covering the last 2 events in the graphic, because we are doing our live watch along at SummerSlam, as we do every year. And I think I decided I was going to call this one myself because it is Flair's last match.
Yeah. This one's all you, man.
Although the card they have lined up, you might reconsider. We'll talk more off air. They have a good solid undercard.
We know the card.
Oh, okay, well if you know it, then there you go. But anyway, Undertaker's doing a one dead man show there now. I hope they stream it, because I want to see it. All the StarCast panels are actually going to be on Fight TV, so I'm definitely going to go for the package if I can. That's going to be cool. And, of course, SummerSlam on The Cock and WWE Network around the world. And then, of course, Ric Flair's last match card will also be on Fight TV. But for me, July is always a special month for many reasons. Of course, Disneyland's birthday is every year in July. But the day before Disneyland's birthday every year is a very special milestone for me. I still can't believe it's been 15 years in just a couple of weeks. It's bonkers to me. But there will be a lot of cool stuff. I'm going to try to air some classic clips, try to bring in some people from the past. No, not those 2 people. But as many people as I can that were around back then, as many people as I am willing to put on that were on back then. But it's going to be a fun evening. I'm going to go late at 8 o'clock because I just want to make sure I don't have to worry about going too late for people in the East, but also not going too early for the folks in the West. So
that's fair.
That is what's coming up. But it all starts Sunday night. Forbidden Door, exclusively on the Jeff Meacham Network and our affiliates with the coverage. Again, AEW really set themselves up nicely the last 2 days of TV. So I'm here for it. I know Noah and James and JD are here for it. Anybody who wants to join us is welcome live on our YouTube.
King, join me for commentary on one of these matches. Become Caprice Coleman, damn it.
That's right.
Yeah, oh my God, Caprice was so good tonight on Rampage, by the way.
Yeah, I did see that earlier. That was good.
He needs to be hired full time.
I agree.
Seriously, he's so good.
Add him for Elevation.
Right?
Yeah.
Seriously, the Elevation team is lacking. With all due respect to Paul and Mark, it's definitely lacking. So I
agree.
I'm okay with that.
The Cat Black, I agree.
But yeah, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 out here on the West Coast. JJ will be on at 3 p.m. of course with Warzone to lead us in, as he always does on a Sunday night.
I actually bumped that up to 2:30. That way it doesn't.
Oh yeah, 40 minutes. That's true.
40-minute episode.
So 2:30. Tune in the Warzone, and then at 3:30 we'll be live with our coverage of Forbidden Door, including our full predictions. I know a lot of you guys saw the NerdDQ predictions, and I encourage that. Please watch Aaron's stuff, but definitely check out our coverage because that's why we go live. I don't like doing predictions before the show because before the day of the show because they do shit like they do with WWE every month. So better to get it in because people get hurt. Shit happens anyway.
And I won't be around for the actual show, but should be able to drop in for the pre-show and then of course the post-show open mic night.
Yes, lest we forget, regardless how long this show goes, because it could go long, we will be doing open mic night as we do after every pay-per-view or premium live event, depending on what show we're watching. There are actually people like, we've already covered the news. There's stuff we haven't covered that JJ very nicely pointed out to me over chat this week. So we've definitely got shit to talk about. So
the wrestling industry never rests. There's always something to talk about or something to assess.
Definitely. I've come up with 3 topics so far. And then, of course, there will be the fallout of Forbidden Door.
Yep.
There's, if anything pops up over the next couple of days.
Looking ahead to Cena's anniversary the next day. So there's...
James,
he'll be on that Monday Night Raw, actually.
If there's anything you can think of that you want to address, but the major stories, if you will, that have been discussed ad nauseum the last couple weeks, not even addressing those. We've got 3 fresh topics.
That's right. Because, what else can be said of the topics? I mean, we know where they're at right now. They're probably going to stay that way for the foreseeable future. So, Warzone, 2:30. Well, actually, his review of Hustle tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific on the Custody Studios channel for JJ. And then Sunday, 2:30 for the Warzone. And then 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern right here on the Jeff Meacham Network and the Simple Man Studios and Jay Hebert, FTW, and Casey's channel, I believe, as well. Yes?
Yes. Which, by the way, speaking of which, Indie Force Tuesday, 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that way we're not conflicting with anything going on. So we're doing it early in the day. If you guys want to check that out, youtube.com/user/JHebert side 95. There you go.
Yes. Yeah, shoot, friggin' noon 3 p.m. Eastern, that's noon Pacific. I'm still watching my stories. We're good to go on interfering with me. That is if CBS doesn't interfere with freaking coverage of the crap in Washington. Oh, by the way, hey guys, hey, Capitol Hill, bite me. All right, very good. Anyway, thank you very much, y'all. We will see you this weekend for AEW New Japan Forbidden Door, for the Warzone, for JJ Hustle, and then we're on to Monday and 20 years of Cena leading into Money in the Bank. It only gets crazier from here, kids. Have a good Friday night, and we'll see you tomorrow.